Hello, dear ones. Hello, EWTN family. You're at home. You're at home with Jim and Joy. You're an important part of the family. We want you to participate. You can email us, jimandjoy@ewtn.com, or send us a tweet at EWTN #JimandJoy. The phone lines are open. We want to hear from you. Anything on life, marriage, the family. 205-271-2980 or toll free 800-221-9460. The phone lines are open. Get to them quick and give us a call. Joy, I understand you have some wonderful resources to strengthen the family.
I do. We have these fabulous DVD, Marriage in God's Plan, by this lovely couple, Jim and Joy Pinto. It's item number HDMGP, and it's some of the tapings that we did on marriage, which I think you would benefit greatly from.
Good bite-sized portions, just 2 minutes or 3 minutes. You can get home after a work day and just watch these and use them as a springboard to speak about the various topics.
You must have been involved in that. And then, so go to EWTNRC.com, and then also we have this fabulous Holy Family Art in Gold, framed with this beautiful linen mat, surely to enrich your home. It's item number PR921. It's absolutely beautiful. You can go to EWTNRC.com or call 1-800-854-6316. You know, God wants to make all of our families holy.
Amen.
And it's not as complicated as we make it out to be. And so we all just really need to be in marriage and in our families who we are.
No, you say it's not as complicated as we make it to be. Mary said one word, yes.
Yes.
If we would all say yes to the will of God, our families, this world would be transformed. It's that easy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Greatest thing marriages and families need to be delivered from is selfishness. And I know that this weekend we had a great weekend being with some of our family, and I know that you had some reflections about our family and our weekend that you wanted to share.
It was an awesome weekend. We made our way up to northern Alabama, and we visited with our daughter up there, Anna, and her four beautiful children, but especially the youngest one, RJ, Ronaldo Robinson Jr. It was his first birthday.
Yes.
And he's just so precious. And you know, the tradition down south is like you get a big portion of cake and you get to do with it whatever you want to do with it. And there he was eating all this cake all over the place, and he's such a laid-back guy. He's beautiful. But the thing that really impressed me was that this was a grandparent-only birthday party. Who's ever had a grandparent-only birthday party? So we went, and then Ronaldo's mom and dad were there, and between us there's almost 80 years of faithful marriage. And as we gathered around, you know, to pray for RJ and for the family, I said, you know, this is wonderful. This is hopeful that young people who are married would invite just the grandparents to come and honor us in that way.
Right.
And then we made our way for a baptism. Say a word about that.
We went to eastern Alabama, and our grandson, Raleigh James Pinto, was baptized in the Baptist church.
That's right.
And so we were there. Raleigh is 8, and we got to be there with Raleigh and Matt and his family and Becky's whole family, his beloved wife and her whole family. And we were all there celebrating precious Raleigh.
It was super, and there we were in the midst of the Baptist tradition. Those people can sing. I mean, they were singing. It was tremendous, and
the preacher preached
for 40 minutes.
Yes.
About. And after Raleigh was baptized, he came back in and sat on my lap. And Raleigh's not a sitter. Raleigh's all over the place.
Well, it's a miracle.
He sat on my lap for 40 minutes. My back hurt. Okay, because I got a bad back anyway. But I didn't move, and I just was stroking his face, and he was still wet with the waters of baptism.
Yes.
And that was such a gift. So RJ's birthday, you know, and all those beautiful girls there, and Gabby, Sienna, and Sophia there, and Raleigh sitting on my lap, that was a highlight for me. And just the gift of life and being born again by water and the Spirit. We're heading to a break, and when we come back, we're going to be joined by Jeffery and Alice Heinzen, the only couple from the United States of America to attend the extraordinary Synod of Bishops last October. They're going to be here to share with you. The phone lines are open, so please give us a call, 205-271-2980 or 800-221-9460. You're an important part of the EWTN family. You're at home with Jim and Joy. We'll be right back. Please don't go away.
Welcome back. Well, you are at home with Jim and Joy, and now we are blessed and privileged to have Alice and Jeffery Heinzen with us, all the way from Wisconsin. And they were the only couple from the United States that attended the Extraordinary Synod on the Family. And over in Rome with all of the bishops, what in total were there, 250 people in total?
253,
okay.
I think was the total.
And there you were, and so we want you to tell our viewing audience how you got that invite, what did you do while you were there, and just tell us about yourselves and your beautiful family and your life together as Alice and Jeffrey.
Well, I'll take the invitation and I'll let you go on with the family. Okay. So it happened like this. We had our youngest son get married in July. The following Tuesday, I got a phone call from the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, someone that I work with there, and she said, we have this envelope here for you from the Vatican.
Wow.
And it's come from the Vatican through the nuncio office, and I'm thinking, oh no, maybe excommunication.
Did I do anything wrong?
What did I do? Anyway, the package came on Friday. When I opened up the 3 envelopes, inside was something that was all in Latin. I thought it was Italian, and it said something about the Pope with my name on it, but the first English page said that we were chosen to be part of this Extraordinary Synod.
Incredible.
And it said, thank you for accepting the invitation. So I called Jeff at work and I said, honey, did you forget to, you know how husbands sometimes can be. And he said,
I would have put this on my calendar, darling.
He did, so he said no. So I called our bishop, Bishop William Patrick Callahan, and dear Bishop said, oh, finally. And I went, finally? He said, oh yes, I knew in April that they were considering you.
Oh, wow.
He said, did Jeff get a letter? And I ruffled through everything, and I said, no. And he said, well, maybe you're the only one that they've accepted. So the whole weekend, Jeff and Bishop were cheering me on. Yay, you're going to go. On Monday, Jeff's magic envelope arrived, meaning that we were both going to spend basically the month of October in Rome.
Wow, that's exciting.
And Jeff will tell you that the family, a little bit about our family and what their thoughts were.
Yep, so we have 2 boys and 1 girl. Our oldest is a physician, and they have 3 daughters. Our daughter is the data person for the state of Louisiana Department of Education. She's always loved numbers. And they have our oldest granddaughter, and our youngest son, who was the one that Alice referred to getting married, was they're expecting now in August. So we got those kids got right to business.
There you go. That's exciting. So when your family heard that you were getting invited, and what did they tell you what was expected of you when you got there? What were you going to do? What was going to be your role there?
Well, our family, just said, please, Mom and Dad, don't embarrass us. Just, be good Catholics and the rest, as you can imagine how families tease. But our role, according to what we got in our packet, was we're auditors. We were auditors. And our job was basically we presented from what the United States, the issues on the family here in the United States. So we had a 4-minute presentation that we gave, as well as everybody else was also given 4 minutes to talk. But then our job was then to audit the process, to be really good listeners, and then add in where we thought it was necessary. First week, we were all in large groups, so we were all in one big room together in the Pope Paul VI Center. And then in the second week, we were broken into small language groups of about 25. Wow. And our group was primarily bishops from Africa and India and the Mideast. So Jeff and I and Cardinal Dolan and were the only 3 from the United States. So that was when we really heard a lot of stories.
Yeah.
They were interesting.
Speaking with Alice and Jeffrey Heinzen, they were right there at the Vatican with Pope Francis for a whole month, just about, in October. Do you have a question for them? Give us a call, 205-271-2980 or 800-221-9460. You're at home with Jim and Joy. We want to hear from you. You know, your daughter, I think it was your daughter that said, "Don't embarrass us," jokingly. But you know, when you think about it, I mean, it wasn't only that you're their parents, you were the only representatives from America as a couple. It's like, yeah, don't embarrass, you know, you're representing all of us there. Yeah. Jeff, what was it like to be there? There were other couples there, I guess, from throughout the world. And you're really saying you got to make a presentation at some point. Yep. You're dealing with these people from all over the world. I mean, the Holy Father was really there for a lot of the time, but what was it like being in that, in the midst of all that?
The first day he came in and he gave us kind of our marching orders and said, "I need to hear everything." So that changed it up in the sense of family. So he took a family approach. A couple of stories that kind of made this indicative is the first day we started the meetings, we were standing in the Commons area down in the center. And all of a sudden we see the cardinals and the bishops with a flurry going up this circular staircase to this meeting. And we're like, well, what's going on? Well, the Pope's in the room. We're like, okay, you know, in the United States, that's the speakers go in the room. It's not a big deal. But that wasn't the protocol. The protocol was everybody to be in there at 9 a.m., everybody to be seated, and announce the Pope's coming in. And then we rise. Then he goes to prayer. And so very pragmatic, if you will. Well, he's in there and he's greeting every one of the 250 people. So, and I think that began to speak to us on who he is to us as a people.
Yeah, I get the sense as you're sharing. I mean, he was really a papa to you.
Yeah.
I get that sense, you know, he's really fatherly.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, that set the tone. He set the tone for this time. I want to hear everything. And he was a part of it. He was there throughout most of the time.
Yeah.
He was there,
I think this was
hour after hour.
Yeah, this was the amazing piece to me. You know, with a business background, you've been in conferences with 250 people, nothing new there. But the fact that the first day he gave us our orders, and we thought, well, okay, we won't see him anymore. He told us what we need to do, and we'll do it. Well, then the next day he's there. And the next day he's there. Wow. And every one of these days that he was there with us, he not only was listening, he never spoke again after that first day until he concluded with his closing remarks. And the interesting piece was that he would then also come down and have coffee with us. Well, you know, after 3 or 4 days of being in the same coffee room with the Pope, what do? You know? And so these conversations were always going on. And, you know, something like this you would anticipate if it was a corporation, some VP would be doing this, okay? Not in this case. He was there, he was listening. As I shared with you earlier, Jim, I said this guy could play poker in Las Vegas because he didn't, he never gave an indication of his thoughts on it. He simply was listening and writing and writing and writing.
Yeah.
So, powerful.
And that is so beautiful, because what he was saying to you all was, I want to hear the crisis that's happening in families all over the world. I want to hear what's happening to marriages. And so everyone who was there got to participate and tell him their story from their neck of the woods, be that Africa, be that America, wherever people were coming from, and they were telling the Holy Father what was going on.
So now you actually, at some point, the both of you got to address for several minutes the Holy Father, the bishops, everybody there.
Yes.
Wow, that must have been a moment in time. How did you select what you would share about? What was that like? I mean, wow.
We were actually told, Jim and Joy, there was a section of the Lunamenta, which was the document that we worked with. We were told that we would open conversation and discussion on one part and to direct our comments to that one part. So at the time that was happening, we were having a grandchild that was being born. So I was actually being the nana on duty.
Right.
So Jeff was in one location, I was at the other. He would write, I would write. We would then debate. We would email back, and we finally put it together. But basically, our presentation was try to encompass the fact that here in the United States, we have seen a drastic decline in marriage. We've seen a drastic increase on family issues and problems. We've seen more children who haven't had the safety net under them of a secure, wonderful family. And with all of those things, that's uncommon to what we were raised in. We were raised by beautiful parents and beautiful families, and sure, we had our issues, but we always put them on the table. We always discussed them. We were able to get through that. Now that we have so many children and so many couples that don't know that experience, what are we going to do? Because the Catholic Church, two things. The Catholic Church has the truth.
Right.
We know it. We've got it out there. How do we roll it forward to these people that don't have that lived experience? The second comment I want to make is kudos to the Catholic Church. It is the only organization on the planet that has the ability to do this kind of study on the family, because we are everywhere. We're in all the little islands, we're in all the big continents and all the nations. And when we came together as a global, universal church to talk about the pastoral challenges of families, heart-wrenching, the things we heard. There was a day that I said to Jeff, get me a plane ticket, I gotta go home. I can't listen to this anymore. But it was, you have to just appreciate that this Pope wanted to hear everything. So our synod was, we laugh, we call it the bad news synod because we had to surface all the issues.
Right.
And we were formatted to put it on the table to make sure that the Pope knows for the coming synod this October, what do we need to do on all of these issues.
Right.
You can't work on what you don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Now
You can't fix it if you don't know what's broken, and so
Exactly.
and that's what you were charged to do. You were, and that's not a negative thing, because the hidden things are being revealed, the secret things are being made known, so that the light and the love and the hope of Christ can come into nations and to families and to parishes and to homes, to make them holy, to restore them, to fix them, to infuse them with God's love.
Alice, you were saying when you were speaking about the world gathering and the church being able to call such a meeting and the Holy Father, and you said there's so much heart-wrenching things that were shared. Now, as we think as Americans when we say heart-wrenching, there's a lot of heart-wrenching things, but we have a context within our family, situation. So that calls up a number of things heart-wrenching. I mean, is it drugs? Is it the redefining the family? Is it what? What do you mean when you say it was heart-wrenching? Or Jeff, you can share here. How was it heart-wrenching to hear people from other nations? What is it that's unique that makes their stories heart-wrenching maybe versus ours? What was heart-wrenching about their sharing?
I think that, to start, there are things happening around the world that people of faith, Christians, beautiful individuals, are suffering at someone else's hand, not their own. We have the privilege of working with 13 other married couples. We made friends with a couple from Iraq who literally was part of the Mosul experience and literally had minutes to evacuate. And praise God, they had the wherewithal and the resources to bring their family to New York. Their family will never go back. When you hear that, it changes you, it changes your perspective about what you deal with.
These were not little media clips. You're face to face with people.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's the whole issue. We talk about marriage, and in the United States we get all uptight about same-sex union. But now let's go to Africa, where we have polygamy. Okay, and so the families are coming to the pastor and saying, well, we want to become Catholic. What do we do? What do we do?
Right.
So it's just a whole set, that we have a sense here in the United States of migration, or immigration. Yeah. But the rest of the world is migration, because the unemployment in some of these countries is 60%. Even in the Depression, our unemployment was only 25%. See, we kind of miss the point sometimes.
And again, so what is this? And that was the reason for the extraordinary synod, because I think the title was something like Pastoral Concerns regarding the family. So various ways the family is being broken down or separated, whether it's poverty or work or whatever it might be. As you've been away from that time since October, I mean, you had ideas what it would be like going in. You actually experienced so much that was there. What did you take away from the time now that you're reflecting upon it, as you've looked at it? What do you come away with?
We came back. We actually had to buy an extra suitcase to bring back all of our notes and books because there were so many things that we were presented to keep studying. All right, because this is a two-step process. Our synod was called extraordinary, meaning it was a unique meeting. It was not something that is normally scheduled. It was to prepare for the synod this coming October. So when we came back and we looked through everything, we came away with 3 words. All right, the first word is accompaniment, the second is affection, and the third one is accountability. So what do those mean? While we were there, the Pope witnessed to us what it means to accompany people. As Jeff mentioned, he was with us. He cleared his calendar. He could have clearly said to one of the other cardinals, you know, you sit in and tell me this, but no, he didn't. He accompanied us. Second of all, he allowed us to affect him, to show him affection. Little different spin there, but he allowed us to affect him. And the third thing is that this kind of got lost in translation. He held us accountable to everything that the doctrine of our church says. He said, this is not mine to change, this is ours to share. So he witnessed that to us. And we came back with saying, this is what we need to do for other families. We need to accompany them in their messiness. We need to allow them to affect us. And we need to make sure that when it comes to accountability, we're pointing them to what the truth of Christ is. How do we do that? Christ has to accompany us. We have to let him in. We have to allow Christ to affect us. And we have to know what his accountability is. So that's kind of the takeaway that as we've been going around and giving literally hundreds of these presentations, and we are so grateful to EWTN for allowing us to come on to share our story and to let people know you don't have to wait for the next synod or for the Pope to come out and tell you this. Accompany.
Joy?
Okay, we're going to go. Hi, Jeffrey and Alice. Did you have to learn any Italian or Latin before going to Rome? And what were the cultural differences? And this is Bradley from New Hampshire.
Well, the good news was they had 5 translators. Spanish, German, English,
French and Italian.
French and Italian, yes. So we had earbuds, just like being in the United Nations, I guess. And so we heard everything.
So you got to
in
hear
our native
everything.
language, right? Culturally, we've been to Italy a couple of times, and it's, you know, I always tease, I think in the United States we think we've got the best pizza in the world, and over there the pizza's kind of bland, you know? So,
I didn't think so. But I'll tell you one cultural difference. You had to learn to kiss people on both cheeks and when embracing. Now, as an Italian, you would know that. I was blessed to celebrate my birthday while we were over there. Even was recognized by the lead table and the Pope. But when we got down to coffee break on that day, it was kind of like I stood and I had all of these cardinals and bishops coming up and mwah, 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 you know, happy birthday. So there was a cultural thing that's a little different than what we do here in the U.S.
Let's get back to the 3 points you were making: accompaniment, affection, accountability.
Yes.
So this was your experience there with the Holy Father, Pope Francis, kind of leading the way in that. And do you feel like this is an answer for the family as a whole? for the church as a whole, something that people can take away those principles and really apply in their own home? Because I mean, the issue was, how do we care for the family in the context of this culture? And it really sounds like these principles might be transferable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know that the Pope gave us 2 statements while I was there, and one of them we just all kind of smiled and chuckled, but it's so true. He said, if you're going to be a shepherd, and a good one, you need to get in the pen and smell like your sheep. That's accompaniment. Right. We really need to enter into the messiness of people's lives. Instead of looking at them as a problem, and we have the solution, let's just hand it to them, and they will fix, we can fix them. Right. It starts out somewhere else. It starts out with being with them, not doing. We're human beings, we're not human doings.
Right.
So that was that's a huge piece. If we would just walk with families, Jeff has a wonderful, when there's a problem in a church, what are the 3 things that you always tell people that, we always say?
We're in the Catholic Church and we hear that a couple's struggling with their marriage. And we have 3 classic lines. Geez, did you hear Pete and Marianne are having problems with their marriage? Oh, that's too bad.
That's too
well, I hope somebody tells Father. We'll pray for him.
There you go.
Okay? And where does that spin out? We need to reach out to that couple and engage them in that accompaniment. The challenge, and I think this is a phenomenon of American culture, is that to accompany takes time. Right. A lot of time. And so people are I just don't have time to do this. Well, I think, let's reprioritize. Yeah.
Okay, we have a phone call, and this is Patricia from Michigan. Patricia, welcome to At Home with Jim and Joy, and your question for Jeff or Alice.
Hi, Joy. This is Patricia, your beloved friend. My question is, what are the family problems worldwide? We have our cultural problems, like they mentioned, like single moms and no family foundation. And what are some of the problems that other countries face? Do they have this same cultural problem that we have with the lack of the family foundation? And when the Pope comes to visit our country, will he concentrate on the American problems that are presented from this couple, or will he concentrate on worldwide problems that we all seem to share? And that's kind of my question. And also, will this couple represent us in Philadelphia for any of the Pope's visits? Thank you for taking my call.
2-part question. What did you hear there about the problems, people from other parts of the world, and what do you think the Holy Father is going to address when it comes to the World Meeting of Families, I think was what she was referring to in September?
Well, I think 2 things, Patricia. One is the things we heard, as I said, was immigration versus migration. There's a genuine concern that families are being torn apart by the migration because, with drug wars, with war, with so many things, and so when the father leaves the house and then doesn't come back, well, now mom has to go and get a job, so she now leaves the children alone, and we know what then happens is that they then
they're easily pulled apart.
Sure.
They can be isolated quickly in that situations. Regarding the World Meeting on the Family, at this point we have no role except to be part of our pilgrimage from Wisconsin. So enjoy us now, because I don't know that we'll have any big role there. And that's great. But I think we have to remember this is a world meeting, and what most people are unaware is that these world meetings have been scheduled every 4 years. This is the 11th in the line. So we were at the meeting in Milan in 2012, and they aren't themed by country problems. It's a theme, and this one is called Families Fully Alive, the Mission of Love. So that is what it's going to be focused on. I would say because most of the presenters are going to come from the United States, you'll probably get enough of that. How do we in the United States do that? But when you get to the basic philosophies and truths of the church, they go everywhere. So how do we apply them? So we'll be giving, I would think that what's being addressed is not going to be specific to the U.S.
Well, and I think it's important to understand that the extraordinary synod and the synod in Rome are attached. This World Meeting for Families is not a part of this process. It's something that's scheduled separately.
Yeah. Well, let's make the connection now with the extraordinary synod that took place last October and what's coming up in this October 2015. What is the connection between the two? Again, what was that first one? It's kind of preliminary, addressing everything, get it all out on the table. What's supposed to be happening at this synod that's coming up in October 2015?
What's unique about this synod process is that typically when there's an issue that they're going to study, there is a synod. They happen, I don't know if it's every 3 or 4 years at the Vatican. This is the first one under Pope Francis. Pope Francis wanted, if he's going to address family issues, he first needed to know what do we need to address. Thus, he put in the extraordinary synod, which is a very fancy way of saying an unscheduled meeting that is in preparation for. So, so the connection is we studied and laid all of the issues on the table. And then, as everyone around the United States may be aware, before our synod, 27 questions were offered to all of us from the Vatican. All of the responses that came in were synthesized into our working document. We then further worked on it. That document then was repackaged and sent out again worldwide. 46 questions were generated from that, and those were pretty robust questions for anyone that tried to answer them. Those are now being pulled together and sent to the Vatican. That information, along with our working document, will become the substance of the study. You know it's more because the next synod is actually 1 more week in length than ours. And at that time, I think we were not told to bring up solutions to any problems.
Right.
This one will.
Okay.
The work of the magisterium.
Right.
Right.
And how hopeful all that's going to be. Okay, we have an email. How do my husband and I find a balance between being involved at our parish and also spending enough time together? It's so easy to get sucked into parish life, and we want to be good stewards of our time and talent, but what is too much? And this is Michelle.
Oh, Michelle, we have a wonderful 4-step thing that we share often. There's got to be an order. We know that order is good for us. And the first one is God. We all need to focus first on God. Second, your vocation. And in your case, it's marriage. Third, your family. And fourth is your work. So as you're discerning all of this, let's not put your work in front of your spouse. Let's not put the family in front of the spouse. Let's not put our vocation in front of God.
Right.
It's God first, and then it is our vocation, then it is family, and then it is your work. Only the two of them, only the two can put it together and really think about it, pray about it, and know. We're not good at saying no either, but it is something that we really need to do so that we can maintain the order that God intends for us.
Right. And the problem is that they're good things. And so we think because they're good things, we should say yes to them and get involved in them and do them because that's what God would want us to do, but not at the sacrifice of your marriage or your family, because that's where so many couples get involved. And then if it isn't good in the marriage or in the family, sometimes people hide. And so it's like, oh, I'm doing this, as if that is gonna, present you well because you're doing the other things, when God's saying, go home and love your wife. Go home and love your husband. I don't need you to be doing this. But we can get so sucked in, right? Like Michelle shared.
How is your way together as a couple when nobody sees, trying to discern these things? I mean, how do you hash that out together? How do you pray together to say, okay, how are we spending our time? What's our time allotment here? How are we doing to be able to reach out? Where are we at this time? How do you all do that together?
Well, I will tell you, until June of 2014, that was easy because Alice and I both worked out of the office full time for marriage and family life. So we had windshield time together, and that, I think, made it work better. Now, how do I do that? Well, the McDonald Area Catholic Schools is about 30 minutes from where we live. And so when I get in the car at night, I punch the cell phone in, and I go, okay, let's catch up with each other so that when we get home, we've got kind of the minutiae of the day,
Right.
and then that conversation. I think it's knowing that order and really working on that, because when you both change jobs in the same year, when you both do this extraordinary synod thing, all of a sudden work has just pushed itself right to the top, and so now it's been a real conversation here in the last few months.
Yeah.
And that's powerful. Becoming a couple personality and having some basic values or an order that you've agreed upon, so you know what to go back to and say, these are our key values. This is where we are at this point in our lives now, even in terms of hashing this out. People ask us, well, Jim, how do you pray together? Well, when we didn't have children, this is the way we prayed together, in terms of the length of it and the study that we did and so on. And then you have children, and then you have 15 grandkids, and so. But the main thing is that we know our basic principles and the basic tenets and the priority, and you go from there. And that we do share. And you're saying we do more on a cell phone now, going from here and there. But the key is that there's really respect there, and I really want to facilitate God's plan for your life. In the midst of these priorities, we're not where we were then, this is where we are now. That might give us more time or less time. Who are we now in the midst of this context? But our principles really don't change. I think that's what I hear you sharing.
And I'm going to give you one other secret. One other thing that God has blessed us both with. And it started the day that we got married. And when we left the reception, Jeff looked at me and he said, Alice, I promise you that life with me will always be an adventure.
What a guy.
And
has he held true?
Oh my goodness, as we approach 35 years, I can tell you, adventure, oh my goodness, people could, our children will laugh when they see this, because our children call us Budgie and Midgie. This is Budget, I'm Midget, and we have the excellent adventures continue.
Beautiful.
And the other part of that is humor.
Yeah.
Let's lighten up. Let's remember there's supposed to be joy in all of the messiness.
Amen. Well, we have a phone call. Jim from California, welcome to At Home with Jim and Joy. Your question or your comment for Alice or Jeff? Well, we have a phone call. Jim from California, welcome to Turn his sound down. Your question or your comment for Alice?
Well, thank you for taking my call. I'm a great-grandfather, and I have 7 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. Not as much as you, Jim, but in the way of grandchildren, but I've got plenty. My concern is I've lost my wife a year ago, and I want to do more to influence those children and grandchildren. Many of the children have lost the faith. Even though I'm a pretty strong Catholic, I've gone to Catholic schools, was educated by the Jesuits, and a big listener to EWTN. What can we do as grandparents and not get in the way, but help our children to know the faith and love it better?
Yeah. Thanks, Jim.
One wonderful question, and I would encourage Jim to do what this new papa, we are pretty new to this. Our oldest grandbaby is 5. But from the very beginning, Jeff has befriended them in very humorous ways. Our little girls love to hear when we're Skyping with them or whatever, he says to them,
Where's the girls?
he sounds like a grumpy old grandpa. But they are just attuned to that. They come giggling and running. They sit on his lap. He just accompanies them.
Right.
He allows them to affect them.
Right.
Or they affect him. And whenever they have questions, he always goes, have you thought about this?
Right.
Even at 5, he holds their feet accountable. So I think if you're going to do it, but remember that order is also important. It's not accountability first. It's accompaniment first.
Right.
I love it. It's so applicable, and that's exactly what I was thinking when Jim called this whole thing of accompaniment, affection, and accountability. And you've got to do those 3 principles and leave it in God's hands.
Yeah, they love the grandpa.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And you love them. And it's so great being grandparents. I mean, we have 4 kids and we absolutely love and adore our children. But it is a whole nother level of love with grandchildren.
Yep.
And somebody said, well, how can you do 15? One at a time. They're just awesome, you know, and you
Yeah.
just love them and pray for them,
Yes.
you know, and it is disheartening when sons and daughters have left the church. But as Jim in California and all of us, what we do is we pray. We pray daily for our children, for our grandchildren, for God's plan in their life, for their destiny to which they were born would come to pass, and that they would be protected from evil and harm.
Right.
Do you have a closing word for us? We're about to close out on this time.
A couple of things. There was some sense that when this one report came out, the midterm report, that we were throwing the baby out with the bathwater. And I can only encourage people to go and Google Pope Francis's closing extraordinary speech, because he laid it out and he was very articulate. You know, marriage is one man, one woman. He's not arguing about that, okay? Divorce is something, it's a process, so we have to look at the annulment process. And
there were 2 other documents that really came from our work. And the second one would be Beyond the Comments. The second one would be the final report that came out. And the third one would be the message to the people of God. If you take a look at those 3, you really, you know, your heart will rest calm that Christ is still leading our church through Pope Francis, and all is good. And we would encourage everyone, of course, to find the prayer for the next synod that the Pope has given us, and pray it daily. Just pray it as often. Put it in your mind, put it in your heart, and just pray, because truly I can tell you it's an intense experience, and we need the next participants at the Ordinary Synod to get it right.
You can go to the usccb.org site and you can find that prayer there. Alice, Jeffrey, just thank you so much for being with us, and you represented all of us so well at the Extraordinary Synod. God bless you.
thank you.
Thank you.
I think we're about ready to go to a break
Yes.
at this point. And if you'd like to reach the Heinzens, I think we had their email up there, Heinzen, AHEINZEN, @DIOLC.org. You can continue the conversation. So we're heading towards a break right now, and we'll be back in just a moment with Father Pascal. You're at home with Jim and Joy. Please don't go away. We'll be right back. We're here with Father Pascal. He's on the couch in our living room here. It's wonderful to have you back, Father.
Thank you.
I did want to mention that earlier today I had the chance to speak with Dr. Mary Beth Yount, the Director of Content and Programming for the World Meeting of Families. Let's take a look. We're speaking with Dr. Mary Beth Yount, who is the Director of Content and Programming for the World Meeting of Families in Philadelphia, September 22nd through the 27th. Dr. Yount, welcome to At Home with Jim and Joy. How's the planning going for the World Meeting of Families? It's certainly no small feat.
Right. Thank you. Yes, it's going very quickly and with a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of excitement, both in our team and in the surrounding community and the global community.
Well,
we have some new news.
Go right ahead.
We have some new news, and that is about some of our Youth Congress activities. That will be going up on our website pretty soon, but right now I can tell you that it's for ages 6 through 17 with a lot of interactive and dynamic activities. There are 25 stations filled with activities with revolving content. So you might be at Praying with Paint and have a lot of fun, and then later you're learning one stroke at a time a different painting, so you might want to return to that. There's making puppets, there's gospel drama with different acts from the Gospels that you might participate in. There's an All Saints dress up, sacramental scavenger hunt, fill a bag, fill a heart, so that you're involved in service activities. It's the content for that and the activities for that are going to be never ending.
Wonderful. Lots to do for young people. Now, share with us about the Holy Father. We know that he'll be visiting the United States in late September, and he'll be at the World Meeting of Families. What will he be doing there? What does his schedule look like? What will the activities be?
Right. Yeah, it's very exciting. The Holy Father's visit, very exciting. So the way the World Meeting works, and I know I've been on your show before, and most of your audience probably already has a general idea, but the way this works is it begins with the Congress, and then on Saturday, the Congress then has the Adult Congress and the Youth Congress with those activities I was telling you about for youth, and I'll tell you about the Adult Congress presenters in a second. So there's the Congress, then there's the Festival of Families, and then the Papal Mass on Sunday. So the Papal visit is towards the end of the World Meeting of Families, and we'll call it the culmination of the World Meeting of Families. So we're very excited. We know that the Holy Father will be in D.C. and then New York, and then Philadelphia is the purpose for this visit to the U.S., and it will be Pope Francis's first visit to the U.S.
Wonderful. Dr. Yount, tell us about your great social media presence.
Yeah, thank you. We have really, this has taken off partly from our initiative and partly just because everybody, wants to know more about the World Meeting of Families. So we have a lot of different ways to be involved. You can attend, you can host a family, you can volunteer, donate, pray, and you can get involved in our Twitter chats. This is really just one way of our social media campaign. But with our Twitter chats, you can find the schedule on our website under Get Involved, because it is yet another way to get involved. And with this, our team members and experts can tell you more about the World Meeting and answer questions that you have. So you can engage with us live through our Twitter chats. I'm hosting one on the World Meeting of Families Congress Presenters. Remember, Congress is that first part of the World Meeting of Families. And that'll be Wednesday, April 22nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So you can follow me at WMOF Dr. Yount, and you can share thoughts and ask questions at hashtag WMF 2015.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yount. Be assured the whole EWTN family support of the World Meeting of Families. We will be keeping up with you. God bless you and your great work.
Great, thank you. And for more information, go to our website where you can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and stay in the know through our newsletters. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Yount. God bless you.
Well, Father Pascal, welcome back to At Home with Jim and Joy. You have not been on that couch in a while. You've been a busy man.
Well, yeah, here and there, yeah. So most of the time I'm here at EWTN or at the Shrine, but every once in a while I'm also took on vocation direction for our community. So every once in a while I'm going out and about, hoping to find some young men who are really desire to preach to the media. So
wonderful.
Yeah, but
are they hearing about us primarily through TV, radio, or just word of mouth?
But you would be surprised how many young men, especially young people today, they're only turning on to 1 or 2, maybe 3 channels, and they're on their phones or whatever, so they're not flipping channels. Like when I was young, we would still flip channels, but so that doesn't always happen. So not everyone, it's amazing that not everyone knows about EWTN.
That's right.
EWTN is everywhere,
Right.
but so yeah, but the young people today, as you know, they are there in those places in the social media, and so that's one of our works is to try to bring God there, bring God to where they are, and so that at least one time a day, if people would just have some sort of prayer or thought of God, and that we build from there. Then.
Yeah, and everybody listening to us can help out. They could become EWTN media missionaries.
That's right.
So if they go to our website, EWTN.com, you can see media missionaries, and you can help us to get the word out through social media, and who knows, you might touch someone who becomes a priest.
Right.
So what's on your heart and what's on your mind, Father?
Yeah, I loved that 3-point process, but especially that accompanying or being with people. And recently, I was given this advice maybe because I needed it, and I did need it, but I was asked 3 questions. And so it was a priest. He said, who is the most important person? What is the most important thing to do? And then when is the most important time? And I got one of those right. Not that there is exactly a right answer, but the right time is now. We have right now. So this time, say we're at work, we're at the grocery store, maybe we're even with family at going out to eat or whatever. And then in family, who is the important person then is that person who is in front of me. So that would be, our family. We want to, our friends, our coworker. Maybe it's the coworker we don't get along with, just again, the cashier, the person that cleans up or does the lawn work. So often, even if it's a Catholic institution, sometimes you'll find that no one really talks to those people. You just kind of walk by. And so that person that's placed in front of us is the most important person. So yes, God obviously is above all, but for us at this moment, this now, who is that person? And it depends. And then the most important thing to do is to care for them. And of course, care is that affection and that accountability at this together. We'll put both those in that one. That, care is so often listening and being attentive to their needs. But care can also be, in love, can also mean telling the person, you're driving everyone crazy by this behavior, or you really, so it will depend. So that most important person, so that person in front of us, the most important thing to do to care for them, and then the most important time, that just attentiveness and to that.
That's good to know. We're the most important people in his life right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Although you're in front of millions as well. I was thinking about that the whole time. But you're right. It's that moment. You might not have another moment. And so this is what God has called you to do, the one he's called you to be with, and to have affection for that person. In the sharing with the Heinzens, that word affections came up so many times. And, just in terms of growth of a little baby, showing affection and the child connecting with affection, that you're taken by me. That the mother flushes, and looking at the child, that child gets the message, I'm special for just for who I am. And so that affection is just so critical, and it does take time, and you got to be beyond yourself. We're always going to the next step. Okay, so what does this mean for me, or what do I say, or what do I do, instead of just entering into that person for who they are.
And it's a big temptation, obviously, especially today, with everyone has the phone, or everyone, and you go to restaurants and it's so sad. The families aren't talking, and the kid might not have it, but the mom has it.
Oh yeah.
And so that, like you say, that just to really look someone in the eye today is not it's taken for granted almost. That I'm listening to you, blah blah blah, doing this, but to really care for someone and to really open them up to human relationships, to real joy. That we have to be so just attentive.
Well, Father, why don't we pour out some holy affection by your giving a blessing to each person viewing us at this time.
Sure. And may Almighty God, who continues to bless and keep us, bless you and keep your family, the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Father. Well, it's a great blessing to be with you today. You're never alone. You're an important part of God's family, of the EWTN family, and you're always at home with Jim and Joy. God bless you. God bless all your loved ones, generation to generation. Remember, life, marriage, and family will prevail. Bye now.